Yo.
Yeah. Ow.
I love the one of him up against the wall.
There's kind of two of that. The front facing one, the side facing one. Side facing one could be used as laying down too, though. So.
Yeah, I think they both have their own use cases.
There's some overlap between a few of these that I'm unsure of. I may end up changing.
Do you need more poses for this guy yet? Or
No, only if I replace like one of these, because there's two sidled up things. They're just angles. But these are the four unique ones, and there's the front and back that we've always had. That'll be his set, his 6. Basically, all the redesign, everything is designed but not finalized. So I have all the go through, except for I'm missing one. I was just going through. I'm missing one lumberjack pose, fisherman lumberjack guy pose.
Does that count the cow and the chicken, or are they their own singular thing?
I didn't do chicken or cow actually. I wasn't thinking of them as characters, but I could.
Yeah, they never had any. They never got like a back pose, even.
Yeah, I
So
did
they're
do.
kind of like more just
So
props
long-armed guy and Bach. Well, it was just long-armed guy who didn't have any other poses. So, the turtle and the mouse did get them. But the mouse had a bunch of poses.
Mouse had a back.
Okay, so I guess it's just the long arms one that I did that never. Marcus.
I haven't heard him.
Spooky. That class in Realis that you were looking at that had the I scare everyone thing was actually the quintessential, which is basically just a ghost or like the embodiment of an element. Like
Not the good fish or the other one.
personification. What you thought though was the logic and whatever was actually the quintessential
Are you designing based on those? Because those were just kind of my spitballs. I didn't really look through them.
I'm not designing anything until we just get together and talk about.
Gotcha.
I figure we come up, everyone chooses to make their character, and then we together come up with like, why would these characters be together? Like, okay, so what's these, the band and everything? What's your, are you good together? And then I'll take it from there.
I think Marcus is dealing with baby problems.
Probably like. You're ruling on my keyboard.
What's that?
I'm petting Spooky and just like walking around on my desk. He's a drooler. Now he is acting as my keyboard. Exactly like my keyboard. Like you're inside of Canon.
Supposed to be inside of a periscope. So hard to convey, but I guess
well,
it can
no,
also
it's
be
good
for that.
because like it could be. I was gonna say it's versatile.
I put the crack in
sticker design.
in the center specifically for the reason that I did think it looked a little bit like you were in a cannon or something like that.
It also looks like the Looney Tunes,
Yeah, it can also be used
beginning
for
and
that.
end screen, like where they are like sitting inside of that frame. What Big says that's all. Struggles to say.
Drawing is so goddamn hard. It took me so long to draw that pirate ship, and it looks so easy.
That's good.
Effortless.
It looks very simple and.
But
yeah, it does look good.
It took me 2 hours probably to even come up with the outline of it. Like just nothing ever looked right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting faster now, I guess, but most of what I do is just draw a line, Control Z, redraw it, Control Z, redraw it, Control Z, redraw it until I get it perfect.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is how.
Well, honestly, most of the time now, like how I get around that a little bit is there's like if you draw a line and hold at the end on Procreate, if it thinks it's supposed to be a straight line, it'll straighten it, or if it thinks it's supposed to be a curved line, it'll apply a smoother curve to it. And I mostly use that.
You could also change. I don't
like
know if
every
Procreate
single
allows
line.
for this, but you can make like different brushes are better for doing curves, right? Can be better for curves where it like doesn't follow you directly. It sort of arcs
Yes, yeah,
Almost
yeah,
like it's like
yeah,
a goopier ink, right?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Whenever I draw with that brush, though, I think like the one that I have like that, it's like one end's fatter, and it looks like every line it feels like it should be in like a Japanese painting of the ocean.
you might be able to. You can get brushes like line.
Yeah, we have 3 libraries.
You
One is
could also
called Lore,
probably
and one is
just,
called Classic, and one is called Procreate.
Probably also just how easy it is to do on Procreate and everything, but like adjust the settings on visual brushes and other softwares. All right. I
Yeah, let's see what you did.
have everything
What you
designed.
do?
I didn't finish everything. That was a mistake. But everyone is designed now.
Cool.
Actually, I was going through and I'm missing, I guess, one pose for the fisherman lumberjack. So this is burglar, cop. Like all. Telling Chris
I like
that
it.
I don't like. There's some of these that I may end up, also still continuing to edit, even after release and shit.
Yeah, but we'll need to see what works, right? And
It's
what
like there's a
doesn't.
little bit between these two, where like they're both sidled up, things. I think they do have their place and could be used differently. This could also be like used as laying down and stuff. So
Yeah.
please, but there's some. Then we have
Oh,
the
it looks so good.
skeleton,
Those are good, yeah.
strongman. Confusion when I got.
Oh, I love the
panicked
bottom right one.
grabbing you.
Do you have a nose in that one?
Yes, just 2 dots.
Interesting. Oh, he has a nose in the bottom left one too. I loved it. I kind of
No,
love
he
the little
doesn't.
nose.
That's it. This is his lip.
No, no,
lip.
up the
No,
up,
above
up,
that.
it's his eye. I think is what
It's
it's
his
supposed
eye,
to be.
yeah, but
his
I
eye
see
looks
the
like his
nose,
nose to
too.
me, and I kind of love
Yeah.
seeing his eye as his nose.
Yeah, well. Sure. A doctor.
Oh man, the top, the top. These are all great. The ones on the ends though are really good. You're good at hands. Kind of just make them out of rectangles, but
That's how I
it really
know
works.
that Dave
relatively-
is not a AI
Don't
from
have
2 years
hands.
ago.
Businessman.
Man, he looks scary in the middle one. Like I am frightened of this man.
The left one, is that like checkerboard patterning, just the compression on the stream?
This right here, you mean?
No,
This-
to the left. Like the left, it looks to me like sort of like checkers.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. I think that is the compression from the stream.
Oh
though.
yeah, that's the stream. I'm looking at Chris's stream of my. Yeah, it's not actually. It doesn't.
Okay. I think we learned that that happens when you actually reduce the sticker size. I wonder if you could recolor the original because it looks like we don't get that compression on his
Other one.
the other ones. Yeah, so like if you could
It's
just
just
recolor
a
the
different
original.
like resolution. I do see it. There's still grid. It's just like
Yeah, I see
It
the
is, but
I
it's
see
not-
I see the grid
not
too.
as it's like
It's
a
not as
higher,
bad,
finer
yeah.
resolution.
But also, they go like any one thing. Like that doesn't mean there's any actual difference in them. Like it might just be that at this specific size, this one looks nice, where the other one looks checkery. And if you were to, grab
Could
it,
be, but it's something we should look into because those patterns are distracting when you have them. Anyway, it is a minor thing.
And then, so those are all finalized in those ones. Now this comes to mind, just like I've designed everything from here. Still have to, finish it. This is the guy who I still need one more.
you're getting the
Doctor.
attenuation thing again, Dave.
I think my attenuation is all the way.
Or I don't know if it's really that, but it sounds like every sentence is like, yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
I mean, I can make it fully. down. I don't know. I might just talk quietly too. Too quietly to be picked up. Some
So he needs 2 more
very,
poses.
very lazy talker. He needs one more. Yeah. Well, now mine's things always.
But back. What about with like an axe foisted over his back, like about to go do his shit? I guess the top left one kind of conveys the same thing. Like, well, let's go do
like,
this.
Yep, here we go.
Yeah.
We got king. Maybe this one is kind of this one on the bottom
Same
right
as
is
the
kind of
block one.
alternate
Yeah,
take
you
on
were
the
saying.
one on the left, so I may end up redoing that one.
Yeah, so I don't know if you
I
were
make his hair
there
poof.
when we were talking about this, Chris, but I love like the king as like a child king.
Yeah, I
And I really
can see
like
that.
the new stickers for that. Like I want him to be the child king.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then here's the mouse.
Ooh. I like this one. It's very
Tom and Jerry.
yes, Tom and Jerry, classic comics. Works very well. I love the one, I thought that was his ears on the top right one, but I guess that he's pulling down his ears because he's got something in his chipmunk
Mouthful
maw.
of cheese. And then the turtle. These might be swapped or whatever. You know, these are both an attempt at the same thing, right?
Mhm.
And then
I like it. Like it.
box guy.
Nintendo copyrighted
Okay.
shellless turtles in their underpants though in the 90s. We're gonna have to cut that one.
So we got box guy crushed. Him
Ah,
sticking his
man.
hand out, and these are two are also like sort of similar.
Do you have
I
box
kinda like
lady?
them both.
Is that-
Well, I don't know if it's it could be lady, it could be him having a bow. I thought he'd just be really proud of his bow and like gift. He's a gift.
So, I think we should just have a bow so that you can make anything a lady.
Yeah, that too.
We should
We
just
should
have
just
a
have
but
a
I
bow
do like I do see value in that pose. It is it's showing like joy or proudness.
No, we can
Not
do it. But
proudness.
I
what's
think
the word
you
I'm
should take the
thinking of?
bow out, and then but it's you can have the.
Well, then
like,
he's not a
the-
gift, you know. But
If we had the bow separately, he could become a gift though.
Yeah, but some things is just better if we, better to be given both instead of having to rely on getting both.
I was thinking there could be other like circumstances that they have it in like if you're going if he's repeated across multiple frames, right? Then in one panel, any other pose he doesn't have a bow, and then in the next one he has a bow, right? And then so it almost limits if you're gonna use this pose, the only time you can use it is if you're going to make a joke about the bow disappearing.
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. Although, let me think how. So
but it also
if
opens
you're
up other avenues where it's like, oh, this is actually a lady box.
so in
But you
in-
can just do that if you
Automatically.
have the bow, and you happen to get both. I
But-
think the bow should just be separate.
so the bow still works. The bow still works with at least 2 other poses here without having to acknowledge the bow. I think once he's crushed, like you don't have to think about the bow. And the one where the top's open, it's like, you could be tossing the bow aside, I guess, technically, if you had a separate bow, but like I think it works just fine without it. Going from that to the top left one, his base one is like weird, right? You can only go there. You can interact, but only in one direction. And the bottom right one, yeah, the bow would be noticeably missing.
We got the long arm.
I like the top right one. That's good.
Yeah.
I
Dancing.
feel like his foot would be facing the other way, right? I guess it could be flipped.
Who knows? It's twisted too.
Yeah.
be a cartwheel or any number of things.
I thought that was him being stretched.
Or
If someone's
stretched over
pulling
Yeah,
him
part,
around.
both
yeah.
work.
Yeah.
He's about to be like slingshotted, right? Like you put a character
Even
behind him, and
lifting-
that character's like
lift-
pulling them back, you know?
Lifting something heavy triumphantly. And then this sucks.
I like the middle one. The middle one reminds me of he looks like an Adventure Time character, 100%.
He looks like Mr. Tickles.
He does look like Mr. Tickles also. I think Mr. Tickles had like crazy long arms, like longer than that, maybe.
Yeah, like go across the town, tickling everybody. Quick freak. That's it. That's all the characters.
Awesome. These look great. These
Yeah.
look really, really good.
Alright, I'll get a.
I
guess
made
just
2
take a little off
pictures.
his-
And they're nowhere near as good as any of these. I made another background though. It's a pirate ship and supposed to be a periscope, but Dave saw it as the inside of a cannon.
It's good that it could be used as.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, these look really good. I am on my part. I updated to. I now have a production setups database. And this week the goal will be to actually build them and get them up and running. So we have a dev side and a release side like that are truly separate in terms of the backend data, so that then we can start this process of updating the stickers and setups. So theoretically, if you can have all the stickers, Dave, like
Once these all get in, I think we can start
yeah.
remaking some of the setups that we had
Setups.
before.
yeah, exactly. That's the.
See if any of them are impossible.
We're very close on the code side for that to be.
How many?
Oh,
Like a week or 2 weeks?
a week. Yeah, I think it'd be a week.
Alright, I'll try to make sure to get all these finalized.
The other thing that I'm realizing is that I think I'm gonna have to not use AI coding, because everything you look on for like on the internet, like if you're reading Reddit, if you're reading like Unity or game dev Reddit,
People don't like it.
they fucking hate it. Even if it's for programming, anything, they are so passionately against it. They won't hear any like rational argument. And like my rationale is like, look, I just had a fucking kid and I work a full-time job and I only get like 30 minutes to work on this in a day. So if I'm using it for non-creative shit, then in my opinion, it's not a big deal, but people don't want to fucking hear it. They hate it. So I just don't want to take the risk. What I'll do is
I was thinking that exactly today, because I was seeing some of the same
yeah.
shit, like backlash.
Just
I
because,
get,
like,
I
the
totally get
audience
on
of
the
it.
art side.
I get it if
but-
you're a programmer whose work was probably stolen to build the thing, and you're,
In
losing
theory,
your
my
job.
work
Like,
was stolen
I
too.
totally get that.
but no programmers are losing their jobs over this. Like that's not a true thing.
Is that not?
In reality, it's junior devs are not getting a chance to start, but I think a lot of places are reversing that because they're still realizing they need those junior devs to be around.
Right on.
But,
I'm
like,
glad
from-
that's hope. That's promising because, like, I feel like coding will be the
Sounding
bellwether
like
for that
it's not
stuff.
really saving that much, time or anything, but it's useful.
Well, I'll say, yeah, like it does make things easier. Like if I need to read a code base, like if I need to go understand a bit of code that I didn't write, it can do that in like give me a quick summary in 1 minute, whereas it might have taken me 30 minutes to read through and understand what was going on. And also, honestly, at work, we use it for one of our like non-critical projects, and all I do is prompt the AI. I don't, like I said, I don't program at all when I'm working on that, and that's like the big part of my job, honestly, is aside from setting up these AI flows, that's the other thing I'm working on. And it does it. It has programmed the entire application on its own, and it works, and people that we like, customers, are super interested in what we've made. So it does work. You theoretically could replace someone, but it didn't like take our jobs, it didn't. No one got fired over it. We just we went from programming every day and taking a ton of time to do it to basically becoming designers, like, and doing a lot more creative
Yeah,
work,
that's
which is
kind of the
kind
best
of
you
fun.
could hope for, and I do hope, yeah, that it's not as massive of a problem for the job market, and not a lot of people lose their jobs. That would be, you know, that
I
would
think
be
it all
great.
depends on like the people on the top, that like if they know what they're doing, and maybe the difference would be for like a really big and bloated company. Like the only experience I have is right now from small companies, right? A small company shouldn't fire anyone because they can definitely use that person and have that person leverage the AI. It just doesn't make sense to
100%
fire.
an AI could do my job easily. We're being asked to integrate it constantly.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, the people are so like, even like against having the conversation, like irrationally angry about it. And I get that it's scary, and I get that like the best argument against it is the environmental stuff, because
Yes, I agree.
I don't think that many people, like anyone that has been impacted by AI layoffs, it fucking sucks, but I don't think that a lot of people were actually affected by AI layoffs. What I was reading is a lot of companies are using AI as a scapegoat to do layoffs.
Yeah.
Because it's a way to basically make themselves more profitable, while also looking good to their investors, like not looking weak, or like they're in a bad position or anything.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I get it. So yeah, the environmental, and then it is weird. Like, I do hear people saying like, no one who's ever been against the inevitable march of technology has been right generally. So like, why, you shouldn't be against it, but it is a unique I have not ever heard, like, there's no other technology like it where it could not exist in its current form, at least, without theft.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, by nature, it needs all of that information to do its thing. It needs all that data. There is no way to do it without it, and that is true.
I'm trying to think of any other technology that's a parallel to that, and I can't. Like,
Well, anything machine learning. Machine learning is in a lot of things. You just don't realize it because it's not as like, it can't talk to you, you know.
I more so meant like not non-contemporary technology. Like, do we have an analog for this in the printing press? And I don't think we do. Or like something more like that,
No,
and I don't
everything
think
else
we
had
do.
to be designed by a designer, sort of thing, right?
Not just that element of it, but like, has there ever been something where for the technology to exist, something slightly immoral had to happen, or majorly immoral had to happen? Like, I mean, there's medical information I'm sure
I
that we
mean,
got even
smartphones are
before.
all made in sweatshops.
Yeah, but they don't have to be. They don't
Yeah.
have to be. That's just a side
Well, I
thing
mean,
of.
I've read that like a lot of the like Holocaust shit experiments have been valuable.
Yes, that's where I was going. Where I was going is like before medical ethics
That's
and
probably a very good point.
he fucked up like but like in that case then the history has kind of landed on, well, no, we shouldn't have, even if it did get things and it wasn't, it was not worth what it cost.
Well, here's the difference, or the thing I would like point out there, and obviously, yes, everyone's like, no, we shouldn't keep doing that, but it's not like they don't use the benefit, the things they learned. It's not
Yeah, I
like
mean
they're
AI
like,
is much
oh well,
much better. Has like like you only have to do it like to refine the models, but like and that but
you
that
broke up for a little bit.
sorry, I probably walked too far away from my thing. And then shoot, I lost my train of thought on the other thing.
I think you said you only have to do it once.
You only have to do it like it doesn't have to be. Actually, maybe it does have to be ongoing for it to continue to improve, but for the technology to just exist in the first place, one big information grab was enough to get it going, I guess.
Mm.
We'll see how it shakes out. But what was my other thing? Shit. You were talking about before this. Obviously, you were saying like obviously people think we shouldn't keep doing it. And that made me think of
comic
something.
relevant to the conversation.
I was saying
I think everyone
obviously
agreed.
people think we shouldn't keep doing medical experiments, but it's not like they didn't benefit and continue to use the things they learned from those experiments.
Yeah.
For future, for the things they create now. They didn't just ignore that knowledge,
Yeah. This wasn't the thing I was thinking of, but also it is it is theft versus like torture basically. So there's like difference just in magnitude of negativeness.
It's I can see. I don't even know where I fully stand on it, honestly. My industry is directly affected by it. I am one of the most vulnerable, because like from the art standpoint, I think maybe it's wrong to say I'm one of the most vulnerable, but rather this industry is one of the most likely to be significantly measurably impacted, and if you were to measure it, quantify it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the better way to phrase it, because obviously artists are
concept artists are the hardest, right? Like that, especially because like I feel like a lot of times people will just be like, I want something like this, and that's what AI is very good at, doing something you've seen already.
Yeah, the only difference is concept artists, I imagine, I'm not sure if this is the case, but are a smaller count.
Yeah,
smaller
less
number
people.
of them. Yeah, so it's a smaller market. That doesn't lessen the impact to them, but the point being, or my original point just being like, yeah, like I'm part of that group, and I don't know, and like I can still see the good in it. Like it can make me better at what I do because it is a better resource than the internet is, and I can ask it questions in a way that I was never able to ask one of my instructors at college, in college, and it can tailor
in
the
what
answer
way? Like
directly
what?
to me.
Like
I can literally just ask it questions until it's done. I literally had an instructor in college once. I took an exam, right? And he was a notoriously like tough grader, and I was pissed because I got a B until I found that most people got like a C, and then he curves everyone up basically. But I was like, okay, well, I got something wrong. Let me reach out to this instructor and find out what I got wrong. Let's talk through it, and so I can do better for the next exam. And he said, oh, I don't really have time to meet you. Just email me your questions. I don't have a write-up of what was wrong with my assignment or my exam, because he doesn't give that to you. He just put a grade in the grade book.
Yeah,
So,
weird.
Doesn't even tell you the
Yeah,
question you got wrong.
it was one question. It was hey, design a system, and here are the parameters. And I was like, okay, well, what was wrong with my, submission? And he's like, I don't really have time to meet. Do you have any specific questions? And I was like, well, I don't know what the fuck I got wrong. And once I found the curve, like he never responded. And once I found the curve, I was like, you know what, fucking, I don't care. But that's what I mean. There's shitty instructors, and I'm paying that guy to teach me. You know, I'd rather pay $20 a month and have a dedicated teacher that never fucking is never that shitty, right? And is actually way more intelligent than that teacher probably, or maybe not intelligent, but way more knowledgeable, right? Way better at teaching than that instructor ever would be.
Yeah.
So like, there's value in that. Like, if the people that want to use it to learn now have a dedicated instructor.
Yeah, if it, yeah, I don't think I could see it replacing teachers, but like, cause like, yeah, you wouldn't want to totally take over there, cause then you lose out of, you know, the flop side of that, which is having a really good teacher that does something a robot can't. But
yeah, I mean, it's a balance. I imagine it's both. You have access
so
to both.
I imagine in
right?
college you probably don't. I feel like you meet more of those types of teachers in high school or in smaller classroom settings. I guess it depends where you go to school. But like most of my classes were lecture classes where I had no relationship with the professor whatsoever. Yeah, I wish I wish it was free from all the bullshit around it, or the environmental stuff, the stealing, just because I would love to. There's tons of things that I would love to use it for creatively.
Like as
Yeah,
a mechanic, like put an AI in a game as like a thing you interact with and shit like that.
I mean, that would be cool. Yeah.
I was thinking
Like, there are problems that you just can't solve with traditional algorithms. Like, hey, it would be cool if you could, you know, that Mimic game, right? That we were texting about.
Yeah, I wondered if they use any AI to like copy your voice and
Process
make you
it.
say different things, or if it's just like cut and paste in some things you've already said and just identifying
It seems to be cut and paste
things that you've said and that it knows it can use.
But I think they're using AI to understand and classify what you're
Yeah,
saying.
that's I guess the second thing I was saying.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, pattern recognition in that way is so complex. It's just easier if you can have a parameter, you know, an AI that does it. And remember, the rune classifier, that is built on a very similar technology. The only difference is it's not.
Yeah, as long as you don't steal your. Well, the question, the set of data, I think, is part of the problem. Like, we didn't steal anything. Right?
Well, even then, I still don't think.
You just trained it on your own.
Well, no, because I transfer learned it. It was it originally came from.
Oh,
the original
okay.
model
So
came
it
from,
borrowed from like another model. Okay,
yeah, I started with another model and then I tuned it to focus on our stuff.
you could build a neural
because-
network. If I made a game in GameMaker and was like, Marcus, build me a neural network in GameMaker and GameMaker code, you could do that, right? You wouldn't need a plugin to do it.
I mean, I can make you I wouldn't make it in GameMaker. I'd make you a model, and I'd hope that GameMaker has a way to consume models, that type of data.
It probably does not. I would need
Well, if it
somebody
can hook
who.
into like Python, it could.
It does not work
I
with
think
those Python libraries and the ones that everyone uses. I looked it up.
Interesting.
But so you'd have to do it entirely in, you'd have to make one in GameMaker. Would that be
No, it would not be
hard?
feasible. It's a lot of math to implement
Okay.
on your own. It's a lot of math to implement on your own, and it's not. Some of the math is simple, but to get like a good model is way more complex. But and that's not a trivial amount of work. That's a huge endeavor. But you might be able to make like a wrapper that the software interacts with outside of the game, like that you just ship with your game. So like, okay, it doesn't run Python inside GameMaker, but if you can expose something that GameMaker can see, and then pass pass it along. Then
I had another idea
you can
for
basically,
getting
like-
around it.
Yeah, get around it.
Well, I had another idea for it was for a game idea, but I had if the answer was no, that would be way too much work. Then I had an alternate. The idea, it was an idea for a game like the Dwarf Fortress, where like, you know, it's a giant simulation, and where all the mobs would get like a bunch of different characteristics, like movement-based characteristics, and I'd like every time you start up the game, the mobs would have learned a behave, like learn to survive in the environment you're about to go into.
That's also like a different thing. So like traditionally, models are trained separately from, like models get locked down, and that's the model you use. Training is like a different thing. The models are usually bigger. They have way more features. They're more expensive to run, and training usually is a long thing to do. It's extremely expensive and takes a long time.
Yeah. My idea to get around it was to select for like to just track survival time on the mobs, like how long they've been alive, and have it be this whole simulation be a step-based thing where I press a button and one step happens. So like, you know, the animation and stuff like that's just not a factor. Like Dwarf Fortress. So like as fast as your computer can run it, you know, you can see back and forth, and it's seeded. So like based on your seed, the you know, you could look at anywhere along the history of into every animal on the planet until it dies, right? And you could know how long they live for. And like the idea was like I would just run a few seeds, see that a certain threshold of days of survival had been met, and then you know, utilize that seed basically. So like most of the seeds would be, and do that for, you know, however many mobs there were until I found one. I'm not sure, like depending on the complexity of what I'm doing and all that, I'm not sure how long that would take to actually shake out, but yeah. It's a game I'll never make anyway because it's like way too complicated.
What you're talking about, like remember, there were games that before this type of AI existed that had like enemies that learned it between your runs.
Yeah.
That was a thing. I'm sure there are classical machine learning algorithms that you could use instead that would work. But to get back to the thing that Dave and I were like originally talking about before, that this of like so the rune classifier that was programmed through transfer learning, and it can't be done really without transfer learning, because the base model is the thing that knows like, hey, this is like what the edge of an object is. This is how you know, this is what like a, you know, how you recognize or tell apart two different shapes and stuff like that. It's how the model learns to identify features and then separate them and classify them. Then you train on your own. The thing that I would say is, who the fuck cares if you stole that stuff, because it's not generative and it's not taking anyone's job, and it's doing a job you cannot do without with just algorithms alone. It's just too complicated. Like there's
I think I draw the line with that stuff is like if it's like literal math, like stuff that's the only thing is it's a known, like there's a known solution to this and there's a known best solution. It's a solved problem, you might say. Then I think it's kind of fine to use it, definitely, even in for the people that, you know, would normally have the most ground to
are you
stand
going to be
on.
able to explain that to the people who won't play your game because the AI is used?
No, well,
I would say
That's
that like the clear line is it's not generative. Like that is the clear line. It doesn't.
Yeah, I guess people could probably.
It's not creating anything that
that's a hard line that's already out there. It's not like you're gonna be like, here's this new term that I made up.
It's not taking anyone's job. It's literally acting basically as a complex math equation to help you identify and classify. This is just how you classify things. And I can say that all the symbols that we're identifying, they're all artistically made by us, and we generate the training data. Like I did generate the transfer learning training data all on my own. It's just you need something to a starting place that's trained on those other image classifiers, because it's just that other image data, because it's just impossible for you to start without. You need a big foundation to start with. I am interested. Like, I bet you those classifiers are way better now too. I'm curious to see. I bet you it would work a lot better. Anyway, yeah, I think the plan will be I'll finish up. We'll get this thing on Steam, and I'll finish it up and get it out there, and then I think what we'll do is we'll take a beat and try to just do some engagement, get people interested, and while that's happening, I will try to replace the AI generated code with stuff I built with my own code, or at least I'll review it all.
So it's
I
just
can
this
say, yep, I looked it
community
over.
of like where we would share our work specifically before it was out that you think would react badly to that?
Anything in the game dev Reddit or the Unity Reddit, it is universally hated. Anyone that tries to defend it in any way gets immediately downvoted like 1,000 times, and no one will listen to a word they say as soon as you defend it, and they start like doing personal attacks at you just right away. It is like, it's the pure, it's the purest form of like internet tribalism, of just like, hey, you guys ruin a good argument by being this horrible about it.
Yeah, also those are probably the same people accusing actual artists who whose work
Probably, yeah.
is not AI of being AI because they're so sensitive to it. Although maybe they're coders and they're not as interested in that, but or as maybe they're not quite the same audience, but it's the same mindset.
The vibe
for sure.
I get from like reading their comments is it's like a bunch of people that are like, no, like the point is a struggle. You're just not supposed to, sorry if your situation doesn't allow you to have enough time to do this on your own. That's just the way it is. It's a little bit gatekeepy in that way. I'm just like, oh, sorry, you're shit out of luck.
And these are game developers specifically, or game developers and programmers?
People in game dev Reddit who theoretically should all be game developers, but they're probably all indie developers,
I haven't seen anything yet as that's like, I haven't seen it do anything that scares me at all, like as a game developer. Once I see it like used for design instead of programming, basically, like I think at that point it will scare me, and I'm sure it will get to that point. But maybe even
honestly,
at that
it can
point.
be used for design. I use it for design at work for the website stuff, and that's just because we're supposed to. But we do use it all the time. It designs websites really well.
Well, for game design, like designing the mechanics, making the, being a game jammer that comes up with it's a game jammer agent, that kind of thing.
I mean, I'm sure it could do that to a degree too, but like that's up at that point, it's up to the person to like, okay, why are you making a game if you're just gonna let the AI do it?
How is it different than just like randomizing 3 genres together and then like, okay, here's your new game design?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the like, if you're doing it for that, then what is the point of being like, you're only really in this to try to make some kind of money, right? Like,
you're trying to make money, or you have a game that you want to play, but like it doesn't exist, so you want to tell a robot how to make your perfect game, which I get that.
yeah. We'll transition off of it for this project, and for any foreseeable projects. I will slowly iterate over the code. The problem is it has helped a lot with backend programming. It's gonna really slow down the backend stuff. So what I'm probably gonna do is finish up the backend stuff with the AI, we'll put it on Steam, and then I'll go through and manually read it and fix it up, because back end stuff I have done, but I'm not as familiar with. I don't work in my day to day on it, so I'm not going to be as fast on it as I will in Unity. And then, if we can get a audience, then I can, if anyone asks, we'll just be honest and say, hey, I had used it because I just had a fucking kid and didn't have time to go, or was about to have a kid and didn't have time to work on it. And like then seeing the sentiment, I switched off of it because I didn't want to take the risk, basically.
So
And, like,
what I
also,
will say is, like, I think that is a very specific sub-audience of the audience that's going to be looking to play and enjoy and, Steam upvote or downvote our game. Is like, I think that audience will be more concerned is the art AI in your game.
I do
and will
think that is the
probably-
bigger major thing, but I also think that if we're going into this, use planning. So this was part of my line of thought is we go into this like promoting how we don't use AI for art, which I think is something that would be worthwhile doing, because I do think you should be on that side of the art argument, and like having a game that is successful in that way could be a good a good signal, right, to the industry of like, hey, yes, people don't want AI generated art in their games. That being said, if we did that, then they found out later that I used AI to help me code, it would
That's a
be
good point.
a problem.
It would be
Disingenuous.
yeah. I mean, it would be a hook to get people to talk.
Oh yes.
That's kind of what I was thinking of. And
Yeah.
they would get it. Kind of.
So I think it's fine. I can do all the programming. I'm confident in my ability to program. I'm not worried about that. It just will take longer, which is a shame. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Did you start thinking about this when the crazy taxes stuff started happening, or before that?
The crazy what stuff?
The crazy taxi basically had kind of just this kind of quote unquote scandal that you just described.
No, I didn't even know that was a thing. I just read because I follow those Reddits every day to see how people are advertising their games and stuff. A lot of the games that I saw on those press conferences were games in that Reddit that in the two Reddits that I'm using.
Really?
Though game dev is generally not like about showing off your game. It's more about general like, hey, how to game dev discussions. And honestly, lately it's not even about that. Like, it's not really. It's almost always now about like some clickbait of like, hey, look, this person used AI, or like, hey, do you think it's okay to use AI in this circumstance? And everyone going, fuck you, you monster. Or like some people going like, how do you guys keep going when your project keeps only getting like one wish list after like 3 years of work?
Yeah, a lot of
they're
like breakdowns post release. Like, here's how. Because I follow it too.
That sounds about on par with game dev YouTube. Honestly, it is mostly talking about the philosophy behind game dev, people's personal experiences with game dev, and videos where people are like, how much money did I make with my Steam, with the game I worked the last 6 years on? And then it's like, I lost $800. It's like the sad, but they usually have some silver lining.
Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. We will get through and we'll release this. I would really like to release this game. I think it's a pretty good game, actually. And I think it could be really good if we could work full time on it. Like, I really think, and that's really just the fucking problem. It's like, it's this idea of like, hey, sorry that you're not allowed to work full time on games. And I bet a lot of these people are like students that don't have that kind of
That's the thing. I wish so badly that I had
full-time
known
job.
this was my passion in life when I was young.
Me too.
So bad.
Yeah.
Like,
it really does kill me that I didn't realize this until later, and then got into it too late. Like, imagine had we got into it early, we would have been able to get jobs, and we would have had the industry experience, and we would then, be in a much different situation than now.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It does kill me a little bit.
It's just
But the good news is like it's a passion where at least we can do it without too much financial input. Like
yeah.
we can do this and practice this without having to spend like $10,000 for parts if this was a more physical passion.
I just think all the time about how like if you really put in the out like if you go by the 10,000 hour rule, right? You're not gonna starting as a kid, you're not gonna become an expert. Some do though. Like some people that are like in their late teens are like probably game design fucking geniuses and have put their their time in because they got into it early, et cetera, et cetera. But like I'm still grinding through. That kid's probably what's taken me 10 years is probably like 2 years of his, right? So like I'm on that kid's level, like that's the way I think of it, and it makes me upset, but also it drives me to try and find ways to, like in the last year, like I've struggled with this, but like trying to figure out ways to finish projects and make it so that I don't end my life having just worked on like a couple things, like just like throw stuff at the wall and see if it sticks as fast as possible, but also also grind away on it at the same time, so figure out a way to grind away on it.
I think our biggest problem is that we have never tried to present something to the players.
Yeah.
The closest we got is a rune game in PGM, right?
Yes, playtesting.
Yeah.
Playtesting.
We never really
outside
put
of our
something
group.
in front. We have we almost have like I don't want to call it a fear of our players, but but that's the easiest way to describe it. Of like we're afraid to put it out there because it's not yet done.
Yeah, I suffer massively from that. I'm like, I'll take it to PGM once it's something that I can be proud to show, but that's not really the way I should be doing it.
I should try to get out to PGM again one of these days. It's just such a fucking long drive.
Yeah, it's
I only do it once a month, so it's not that.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more people there now. It's crazy how many more people there are. Sounds like they've come back to their pre-pandemic situation.
You said it was like not even the person running it is the same, right?
I don't know. I don't even know who set it up or ran it. Like there were so many people there that I didn't really get to, and I came in late, so I missed the beginning. I might probably have a better idea if I didn't. It took me forever to find out where to park, and then I still got a ticket.
That's annoying. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I'll like I said, well, I likely will still use AI to help me finish up the back end. It's just gonna be faster, and it's done most of the new backend coding already with my guidance. I'll finish it up. We'll put it on Steam, and then I'll go through and I'll meticulously review all the code so that at least I can say I understand it. And if I don't change it and rewrite it, then I at least evaluated it. And then we'll just cut off from there and say, okay, from that point on, no AI. And if we start getting, wish lists, maybe we can try reaching out to publishers again, because really the big downside is time. I just don't have enough time to work on it. But if I could work on it full time, it would be a completely different situation.
Yeah.
Even with just the one mode and everything, I think it's a very sellable product.
It just lacks polish. Yeah, and polish does take a long time to do. It's even on its own. But yeah, you're right. I do.
Sound
think
will be a big
is...
thing. I think you might feel different about how polished it is. Probably also once sound gets in there, we should start.
Polish does take a long time in its own right, just because it's just sitting there like listening to this or like changing the same number and then like going through a thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until it's just so.
and that's not even the like thing. Like polish is also a process of like,
Playing
hey, playing it. Yeah, exactly. And like we may not know what the best UI layout is until we, put it in front of some playtesters and they say like, this is fucking confusing. There's a back and forth process, but I think if we had that back and forth, we would have so much more ambition.
Once I get all these stickers, then I'm ready to go. I'm happy and confident to let everyone play it as much as they want. And
I would like to put
sharing it everywhere.
Before it gets to like a full release on Steam, I would like it to have a layer of polish, not like the final product polish, but just some stuff to make it look nicer. And like, yeah, there's still some rough edges in terms of like the UI and just player interactions. I feel like we could make some guesses, like just from the playtests we have had outside of our circle, which is what, 2. I think there's some.
My friends and
We should probably revisit those
Sammy's
videos
friends.
and see what the what the main things
I think
were
it
and
might
see.
be worthwhile just replay testing them. My friends said they are available whenever we are ready, basically. My work friends, so we can easily playtest with them. And I think they would be pretty happy with the most recent changes. Yeah, we'll see. But the Bridget and Tom might be harder because they have 2 kids, 3 kids now. I don't remember. They have lots of children. But they're the ones that were like the actual. They released a board game and like Hasbro wanted to buy it or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we could also try just getting. It's a hard one to play test at Philly Game Mechanics. Honestly, in that setting, I feel like we should just try and get a list. If we do go, we should just try and get a list of people that would be willing to do a playtest at their home computer, and get them into a Discord.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, I think we should show it off and show off like, hey, some of the stickers
Yeah, we should
or
do it for show
some
and
of our
tell.
best comics off.
Yeah, we should show it for show and tell and be like, anybody interested in playing, a few rounds of this, put your name on this list, and then maybe if they, if we can get them to go through to agree to a second playtest, maybe at that point we've got most of their initial feedback and we just try and focus on making it an actually like a fun time more than a successful playtest and see if we can get them coming back regularly.
Yeah. Yeah, more playtesting, I think, in general. Just getting that feedback and iterating on that feedback is going to be a big part of it, for sure. That is the big part of the loop that we're missing right now. Where right now we have a lot of assumptions of like what the best way to do something is, or like whether this is going to be fun or not, and we need to confirm those or in some way. Yeah. All right. So I have the setups stuff out there now. The production build. The next job for me will be to actually create the builds and put them up, so that we have a release side and a test side and a dev side, like true separated environments. And create pipelines so it's easy to like move shit from dev to production. And I think it should only take a week for me to do all that. And then Dave, just let me know once all your stickers are in, and if you can ideally if you can make the colliders for them too, that would save me a lot of time. Yeah.
Too bad.
And then I can the process of swapping those out. I already have a pipeline for uploading that stuff to the test and to the dev and the production sticker delivery CDNs. So that should already be set up and good to go.
Right on.
It's just the setup side I don't have built out, finished. Okay. Anything else that we want to cover before we go?
Nope. Nothing I can think of.
Alright. I might be around next weekend. It's Father's Day weekend. I think Sammy's Father's Day gift to me is to. I haven't played games basically since
Night of
Milo was
game.
born. At least not with you guys. I played like once or twice with my friends from work when I had a free like hour or so. But anyway, so her Father's Day gift to me sounds like it's going to be to give us time to play video games that weekend at some point. So if you guys are around, I should be able to play some kind of video game.
Right on.
Cool.
Alright. Alright, I will talk to you guys later.
Later.
See ya.
You want to try Miss Fall Hunters, Dave, or you going to bed?
I could do some Mistfall Okay.
What'd you say?
I said okay. Alright.
Do you want to try Miss Fall Hunters?
Fall Hunters. Oh yeah, I said yes.
Alright. Please don't let this game fucking break and then never work again.
I don't fucking remember anything about this game. I just played the Ranger. Hopefully they didn't nerf the hell out of the Ranger or even take him out.
I think the Ranger was seen as like kind of mid before anyway, so if anything, he might have gotten a buff. I think.
I assume a lot of progress is reset from last time, so basically you're gonna be starting over. Withered Knight, it says, is the new class they're adding to this demo. These knights wield a great sword to deal massive damage. Establishing, is this third person?
This is third person, yeah.
Holy warriors. Well, Arrow Guide is.
I still am downloading. I just started downloading. I probably should have started this before.
Yeah, I tried to launch it before just because that's how I knew the servers weren't open. Thunder. Tattoo does not symmetrically line up on my chest. I know because the two, the two circles incorporated in that tattoo are not perfectly capsuling my nipples.
Wait, what? The tattoo's on your arm you're talking about. Get another
What?
tattoo?
No, I'm talking about in this game's character creator.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your door knocker tattoo not being having the circles line up or something.
My nipples?
Your shoulder tattoo. And then you said nipples, and I was like, what? My ears perked up. I heard someone talking about their nips. Alright, it's almost done. 99%. It's just gonna work. Play. Alright, this is telling me I need to update my GPU drivers. Should I do it? Probably. Let's do it. Gonna take me to the where to get the drivers. Alright, it's doing it. Maybe this will fix all my issues. It's gonna require a computer restart.
You're restarting the computer, you
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off my stream because it always crashes OBS when it does this anyway.
probably would be. Or probably would.